viewers, and thank you for joining us. We're coming to live from GECOM's headquarters in Kingston, Georgetown. We're all waiting outside here for members of the commission, for commissioners to come outside and provide us with an update on their discussions tonight. Already we know, based on a Facebook post made by the government-nominated Commissioner Sais Gunraj, that GECOM has declared President Dr. Irfaan Ali as President of Guyana, and he also informed the nation by his Facebook post that the seats each of the contesting parties who won seats got in the National Assembly are now known. So based on the post made by Mr. Gunraj, we know that the PPPC, which has been re-elected for a second term in office, will get 36 of the 65 seats in the National Assembly. The newly formed We Invest in Nationhood party will get 16 seats. A Partnership for National Unity will get 12, and the Forward Guyana movement gets the last remaining seat. So to remind you, we're out here waiting on commissioners from the Guyana Elections Commission to come out and brief us on their discussions tonight. But already we know that GECOM has declared that President Irfaan Ali has been re-elected for his second term. Of course, tomorrow, in just a few short hours, that would be Sunday, we expect to see the inauguration ceremony for President Irfaan Ali. We're here in Kingston, Georgetown, and just near me is Main Street and also the seawall area where the President's inauguration is supposed to unfold tomorrow. So President Ali, based on the declaration from GECOM, has been declared the President of Guyana. So he has been re-elected for a second term. Of course, the PPPC, his party, has been re-elected to office and will get 36 seats, or has gotten 36 seats in the National Assembly based on the votes accumulated at Monday's general and regional elections. The Win Party gets 16 seats, APNU 12, and the Forward Guyana movement just 1. Continue to follow us right now. Continue to follow us tonight as we continue to wait on the commissioners to come outside and tell us what unfolded. So keep following us. We'll be right back.
Waiting for a question.
Everybody ready?
Or is everybody ready?
Yeah.
Nice. Mr. Giddens, tell us how the meeting went. We saw Mr. Conrad posted something, the declaration has been made.
Okay, yes. So the meeting was fully constituted this evening with all 6 commissioners and Madam Chair being present, at which the CEO presented his report, which was as a result of the declarations of all 10 returning officers from the elections held on the 1st of September. In that report, the CEO also calculated the seats to each and every party that would have gained such. The meeting was very short. Madam Chair made a declaration of the number of votes cast for each list of candidates, the seats allocated to them, and made a declaration that Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali has been elected President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana pursuant to those elections.
Can you confirm the number of seats each party has?
I talk on top of my head. The PPP has gained 36 seats. Let me just, I don't want to talk off the top of my head, right? So the APNU, 12 seats. FGM, 1. Forward Guyana Movement, 1. The PPPC, 36. And We Invest in Nationhood, 16. The AFC and the ALP did not get any seats.
Was there anything else discussed, or was it just a declaration?
No, that was about it. It was a very simple, I wouldn't say short, but very simple meeting where Madam Chair made those comments.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All good.
There we just heard from the Deputy Chief Elections Officer of GECOM, Mr. Anil Giddings, telling us briefly about what happened in the Commission's meeting tonight. Now, he confirmed what Mr. Sais Ganraj, the government-nominated commissioner, said in his Facebook post tonight, that a declaration was made that President Dr. Irfan Ali has been re-elected for his second term. And he also told us about the distribution of the 65 seats for the National Assembly. Mr. Giddings confirmed that the PPPC, which is going back into government, has 36 seats in the National Assembly. Of course, the National Assembly has a total of 65 seats, and he confirmed that the PPP will get 36 of those seats, which is a clear majority. He also said that APNU, Partnership for National Unity, got 12 seats. The newly formed We Invest in Nationhood Party, WIN, got 16 seats, and the Forward Guyana Movement got the last remaining seat. I'll just confirm those numbers for you once again. The PPPC, which is forming the next government, got 36 of the 65 seats in the National Assembly. WIN got 16 seats. APNU got 12 of those seats. And the Forward Guyana Movement got the last seat. There are 65 seats in the National Assembly. The PPP is forming the government, and WIN will be the main opposition, while APNU and the Forward Guyana Movement will be the other opposition representation in the National Assembly. Of course, we're here in Kingston, Georgetown, just outside the headquarters of GECOM, which is behind me, and we are waiting to see if we can get some of the commissioners to come and talk to us following their meeting tonight, in which the declaration was made. Now, while we wait on that, I'll tell you that just across from where I'm standing is Main Street, and Main Street has been polished up quite nicely in anticipation of President Dr. Irfan Ali's inauguration tomorrow. And just behind me, that way, is the Seawall Bandstand, the Kingston Seawall Bandstand area, or the Esplanade, which we will see more inauguration activities tomorrow. So keep following us, keep watching this live, as we will continue to be out here, and we anticipate that in a few moments the commissioners will come outside and we will get to hear from them about some more of what transpired in the meeting this evening.
as after those elections and their presidential candidate named in their documents presented on nomination day, that is to say, Dr. Muhammad Irfan Ali as presidential candidate, has been declared as president. In addition to that, those numbers of votes were calculated and reduced the seats, and the People's Progressive Party has gained 36 seats. The We Invest in Nationhood has gained 16 seats. A Partnership for National Unity, 12 seats. And the FGM, Forward Guyana Movement, has gained a single seat. That is the basis, that is the long and short of the meeting.
Did you get any sort of response or reaction from the other commissioners from representing the opposition?
The other commissioners chose to abstain from supporting the results. But they were present. They were present. They were present at the meeting. The meeting was fully quorate. All 7 commissioners were present.
Did they raise any objections or give any reasons for their abstention?
No reasons were given for the abstention, and no issues were raised with the report.
Was a vote required?
A vote was required, and a vote was taken. Are there any questions?
Any other, just for clarity on mine, any other matters raised, or was it just a declaration?
It was just a declaration. So I believe that takes care of us. Over the last few days, I've been able to give you so many updates that the only issue that was left outstanding is this one. But before I take your leave, I would wish to thank every single one of you who is present here this evening, and all of whom are supporting you in the background, and who you may not be out here tonight but might have rotated. I want to thank you for the dedicated service that you provided in disseminating information that comes from this commission. And as I've been doing for the last few days, and I want to continue to do so, to thank specifically the Chief Elections Officer and his team, who have provided yeoman service, who have gone beyond the call of duty to ensure that these results were delivered in an efficient, accurate, and timely manner, notwithstanding the requests for recounts and those requests which were granted. I also want to thank the security services who have provided very, very good security and other arrangements, logistical arrangements in making sure that this happened. And in addition to that, every other agency, every other individual that might have contributed to the success of these elections. And one may wonder why I am so elaborately dealing with all of these aspects. It is because I myself have recognized, and I believe most of you have recognized, most of the observers have recognized the efficiency with which these elections were delivered. Those of you who have covered elections in the past, and I said this before and I'll repeat it, those of you who have covered elections in the past will know that even though we are at Saturday night, elections results were usually delivered on Saturdays. It was done so in 2015. It was done so in I believe 2011 and even 2006. But what is the difference here is that we are at Saturday for reasons that are of public notoriety. That is to say, the absenteeism of my colleague commissioners yesterday. And of course, the least I say about that is better. Outside of that, 2 days were taken to facilitate a recount that was made, a request that was made by the APNU, which was facilitated and which was conducted in a very, very, very expeditious manner to ensure that we are here. But for that, I believe we would have been able to provide these results, or these results were ready by Wednesday and could have been declared, but for the recounts, by Thursday afternoon. So with that being said, I believe that we have come to the end of a very, very successful exercise, and I will leave it there.
Thank you.
Welcome. Have a good evening, everyone.
Thank you.
There, we just heard from the government-nominated Commissioner, Mr. Sais Gunraj, engaging reporters, providing an update on the meeting of the Commission that he just came out of. As I mentioned before, we are able to tell you that the seats for the National Assembly, of course, there are 65 seats in the National Assembly, and following the meeting with the declaration tonight, we saw the PPP got 36 seats, Win 16, and APNU 12. Oh, and the Forward Ghana Movement, just one more. We have the GECOM Commissioner from the opposition, Mr. Vincent Alexander, here.
Upon urging and advice, she then made a declaration of the seat. She seemed not to have known that was required.
Say that again, sir.
I said we had a meeting in which, at the inception, the chairman made a declaration of the presidency, and upon being urged, she then made a declaration of the seats. Seemed not to have known that that declaration was required. She probably thought merely sharing the spreadsheet with us would suffice.
Why did you abstain?
Huh?
We were told that you and your colleagues abstained.
I asked it to be recorded in relation to persons expressing support for the allocation of seats that I abstain.
Why?
I abstain because I am of the firm view that our system is not one that's geared to produce a free, fair and transparent election, and therefore without any reference or deference to the election itself, I refuse to participate in the charade.
But the
But what
recount
was
was
this?
requested. That process.
That has nothing to do with my disposition, which does not speak to a recount. It speaks to the fact that we have a deficient list. It speaks to the fact that we have not allowed the Guyanese who are incarcerated to vote. It speaks to the fact that we have not applied the question of domicility to the Commonwealth citizens. All of those things erode the basis for a free and fair election.
Was the decision for all three commissioners to abstain done together?
There was
Or
no
did you
decision for all three commissioners to abstain. I abstained in my own right. You may reference the other commissioners for their disposition.
Thank you.
Have a pleasant rest of your evening, sir.
All right, we heard from the Deputy Chief Elections Officer, Mr. Anil Giddings, Government-nominated Commissioner Sais Gunraj, and Opposition-nominated Commissioner Vincent Alexander. I'll now read for you a press release that was moments ago sent out by the Ghana Elections Commission. And GECOM, in this press release, has announced that the People's Progressive Party, Civic, has won the 2025 general and regional elections with Dr. Irfan Ali being declared president. So that means the PPPC is going back into office and Dr. Ali has a second term as president. The GECOM in its release noted that the declaration tonight was done in keeping with Article 177.2 of the Constitution, and it also noted the allocation of the seats, as I've been telling you tonight. So it confirmed that the PPPC has secured 36 seats in the National Assembly, so that's 36 of the 65 seats in the National Assembly, while the We Invest in Nationhood Win gained 16 seats, a Partnership for National Unity APNU gained 12 seats, and the Forward Ghana Movement got 1 seat. The Guyana Elections Commission in its release said it extends congratulations to President Dr. Fanali and the PPPC. And GECOM also in this release reaffirmed its commitment to working with all stakeholders as it continues to fulfill its constitutional mandate and serve the people of Guyana. So that's all of the live coverage that we'll be bringing you tonight. Join us again tomorrow for the swearing in and inauguration of President Dr. Irfaan Ali. I'm Vishani Raghuber. Thank you for joining us.